Superheroes like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man aren't the only ones saving the planet. We aren't even the only species. There are tons of plants and animals that work hard every day to help the Earth. Every organism has an important role in keeping the planet happy and healthy. These helpful acts can be done by something really small, like the tiniest insect, or big, like an entire ecosystem working together. Here's a list of the top 10 who work every day to help the environment. Number 10. Squirrels. Take a look at the trees around you. You can probably thank a forgetful squirrel for a few of them. Every year, countless squirrels stash their nutty food supplies throughout the yards and forests of the earth. Quite often, the squirrels aren't able to recall everywhere they stored food, allowing nuts to take roots and grow into trees. Many kinds of trees depend on this process to stay alive and spread, since the nuts can't scurry to a new spot on their own. Number 9. Birds. The ecological handyman. Birds really do it all, from reforestation and seed pollination to pest control and soil fertilization. Whether in a forest, on a farm, or simply in a garden, these feathered friends play a vital role in keeping nature balanced and indicating when it's not. Number 8. Bees. Did you know about 1/3 of the world's food depends on pollination? Many of the Earth's plants, about 30% of the world's crops and 90% of our wild plants, depend on these little heroes. As they buzz from plant to plant, bees are powerful pollinators and play a vital role in the ecosystem, so the next time you find a wildflower, you can thank a busy bee. Number 7. Fungi. Fungi are one of the most important decomposers in the biosphere. They are responsible for the breaking down of debris, which would otherwise pile up to the point where we would not be able to survive. Fungi are also very important for soil. Like worms, fungi release nutrients into the earth. Number 6. Frugivores. A frugivore is an animal that feeds mainly on fruit. For many frugivores, the seeds of fruit are too difficult to digest, so they have to excrete them. Since the animal tends to move around, the seeds end up in different locations. This seed spreading helps plants grow in new areas, making frugivores kind of like the farmers of the fruit world. Some seeds even have a better chance of growing once they have passed through an animal's digestive tract. Number 5. Predators. It might make you sad when one animal eats another one, but the so-called circle of life is very important for keeping populations at a manageable size. When natural predators go missing, its prey can reproduce uncontrollably. The sea otter is an excellent example of this. It feeds on sea urchins, a creature who loves kelp. Each of these species in the chain help keep all the other populations in perfect balance. Take one of these out and it creates all kinds of trouble. If the sea otters disappeared, for example, there would be too many sea urchins who would eat way too much and destroyed the kelp forest. Number 4. Beavers. Originally seen as pests, beavers were almost hunted to extinction in the 1800s. Luckily, the numbers have rebounded and beaver protectors are reintroducing the animals into parts of nature in need of a little regulation. The gnawing and damming behavior of beavers has many benefits to the earth. These animals help prevent floods, droughts, and forest fires. Additionally, their regulation of the waterways is a big help to fish and can deflect some of the effects of climate change. The next time you see a beaver, shake its paw and tell it to keep chewing. Number 3. Worms. I'll bet you think that the earthworm is only good for fish bait. Well, think again. The earthworm is one of nature's top soil scientists. The earthworm is responsible for a lot of the things that help make our soil good enough to grow healthy plants and provide us food. Worms help to increase the amount of air and water that gets into the soil. They break down organic matter, like leaves and grass, into things that plants can use. When they eat, they leave behind castings that are a very valuable type of fertilizer. Having worms around in your garden is a real good sign that you have a healthy soil. Number 2. Wetlands. The primary way that wetlands filter water is through their role in water flow. As sediment-containing water passes through wetlands, the water flow slows. Sediment will drop out of the water and become part of the ground layer. In this way, the water becomes clearer and sediment is removed, which would otherwise create cloudy water conditions. Wetlands are some of the most endangered ecosystems on the planet. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, less than half of the original wetlands of the lower 48 states remain, having been lost during the time period of the 1750s through the 1980s. Number 1. Forests. Like wetlands, forests also provide far more services than we can list. Almost everyone knows that plants, like trees, give off oxygen, but did you know that they also absorb things from the atmosphere? Along with things like ozone and sulfur dioxide, their ability to absorb carbon makes them excellent carbon sinks, meaning they take in more carbon than they release, which makes them very important in the battle against climate change. Forests are fascinating and complex ecosystems. Beside a dense growth of trees, forest systems include soil, water, plants, and animals. A forest's survival depends upon the health and balance of its interdependent relationships with living and non-living things. Friends, which one you think has surprised you? Please leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.